Trust me when I tell you nobody is more confused than I am at the moment. I am so lost. Alright, I'm running on Kick. I see Kicks going. Way behind. But we got Kick going. Way behind. Trust me when I tell you nobody is more confused than I am at the moment. I am so lost. Alright, I had to X out all the others. Alright, so we're live on Kick. We're live on YouTube. I don't know what's going on the other stream. I truly don't. That stream is running, but it's not on YouTube. So I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I'm as lost as you guys are. Completely lost. No clue. As long as it's working. That one says upcoming. Okay, don't worry about that one. We can, like, X that one out. Welcome, Sly Angel. We could, like, X that one out. Because I don't know what I did. Either way. We're here. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to my confusing network. My name is Laura, a.k.a. PURPLEXEDQT. If you are familiar with my channel, welcome. If you're not familiar with my channel, then I don't know what to tell you. You'll get familiar. It's working. Yes, you can hear me over here. You couldn't hear me over there. So I don't know what happened, but it's done. It's fixed. So if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. New members, Patreon, subs. Don't forget, we have the Heat Press Fund going. We got 12 days left to get it. We're only at 16.98%. That is strictly super chats. So send in your super chats so I can get my Heat Press and make some merch so I don't have to deal with these shitty ass companies. So there's that. Welcome, subscriber. And sad story you will be talking. It is very sad. It is extremely sad. And I am like, whoa. Just whoa. All right. So does anyone have anything before I start? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Any questions, anything? Whoop. Oh, that was dumb. All right. You can't type. Makes two of us. Yeah, I accidentally made... See, this is mods. This is why I need you. I accidentally made somebody a mod before I unmodded them. Thank God I caught it immediately. I spent hours making that Aaron Carter candle, but I think it came out amazing. I'm very proud of it. So, yeah. If she didn't like it, I was going to bring it to Pennsylvania and beat her ass with it. But you guys want to see it? I think it came out amazing. Hold on. So for those of you guys that don't know, Marissa had asked me to make a Aaron Carter candle. She wanted to, I guess, send it to his family or something, or a couple of people, but she wanted to order a couple of them. So I went ahead and made it, and honestly, I think it came out great. Let me pull up Zoom so I can see if I'm in camera. Now, it's an empty candle. There's nothing in it. So, like, don't mind the back of it. Like, I didn't, like, clean the vessel or anything. It's an old vessel. But just the label. Ta-da! Came out good, right? Yeah, she was pretty impressed. I'm like, I'm glad you like it. Because if you didn't like it, I was going to come to Pennsylvania and fucking smash you over the head with it. Because it took me hours. I was on this two and a half hours. So I'd show you her mom's candle, but I would kind of want to surprise her with it, and it's not finished yet. But yeah, so this is the Aaron Carter candle. And this, because it's silver, but what you can't see, this is his best song or whatever. And then on the bottom here, instead of having like energy or anything, I put the name of the label, the album it's from, the name of the label, and the volume. And then I'm just going to put an energy sticker on the back, you know, like from my Cricut. But it came out good, right? Doesn't it look dope? So, yeah. Hours. I kept doing it. Look at all this. I kept doing it. And I didn't like the way the label came out. And I kept doing different ones. Here's another one. Labels. I didn't know what I was printing. I do ship to Canada. I ship all over the world. The video doesn't do it justice. No, it's really pretty. Thank you, Jessie. So, whoop. But it's like a shiny metallic silver. I'm happy with it. It took me 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, just to do the label. But I'm pretty happy with it. I think it came out good. I'm going to put it on the website. Not that anyone's going to order an Aaron Carter candle, but yeah. And the memorial candle, I did something different that I hadn't done before this time. I'm very happy with it. I still have to do another side, but I think she's going to love it. And I was like, wait, I have a Cricut. I can do stuff. So I'm new at Cricut, though. I'm not some expert, but I'm learning. Definitely learning. So, all right. So let's get into this case. I want to start by saying that, you know, one thing we always do as parents, I've been a parent for 18 years, 19 if you include pregnancy. I have 3 kids. If there's one person in this world that I could always count on, is my mom. I think as parents, that's the one person that you always believe that you can count on to babysit, that you can count on if you're in a rush, if you got somewhere to go, there's always mom. I know my kids, I can wait to be a grandma, but I can't wait to be a grandma. I'm dying to be a grandma. But my kids are still only 18 and they're about to start the next chapter of their life. So I got a couple of years left. I'd say it's 7 years before I'm a grandma. But, you know, you trust your mom. And I know that my kids could drop their kids off at any given time. And no problem. Mom's got it. And that's how my mom was. I joke around with my kids that I'm going to move in there, that I'm going to stay single and they're going to have to take care of me and I'm going to bug them the way they bugged me my whole life, their whole life. And it's like an ongoing joke. Phoenix is going to have a mansion and mom's going to have her own house in the back and I'll watch the grandkids while he goes to work and makes millions. It's been an ongoing joke for a couple of years. So, you know, you just always trust your mom. But what happens if you can't trust your mom? Now, let me also say, I grew up in New York. We had an in-ground pool. We moved out to Long Island when I was like, I think 8 or 9. And we had a fence around the in-ground pool. We were taught very young how to swim. We swim when we lived in Queens. It was just one of these things. My parents never wanted to worry about drowning, so they taught me and my brother how to swim when we were still in diapers. So we were both really good swimmers. When my parents moved to Florida, they had, of course, bought a house with a pool. And at the time, there were no grandkids. My brother got pregnant. My brother's wife got pregnant about a year after they moved. I got pregnant a year after that. And I got pregnant with twins a year after that. First thing my dad did was buy a fence that goes around the pool. If you're not familiar with Florida, Florida has big screens. Like if you live in a good, community, your house, your backyard is all, screened in. Lots of people have in-ground pools. And you buy this like fence thing. You have to drill holes in the cement, and you buy like this, like my dad's was like black, and you plug it in when, kids are coming so nobody can get in the backyard. All right, nobody could accidentally fall in the pool. I thought that was a rule in Florida. I didn't realize it was just like my parents' thing. But I thought there were rules about this in Florida. Maybe there's not. I don't know. But I thought there was. And if someone like walked in the backyard, like they lived in a 55 and over community. So the odds of a kid, just running in the backyard, slim to none. And it was gated. It's gated. I don't know why I keep saying was. My mom's still there. It's a gated community. So we don't have like kids, in and out. But my dad still bought this for when the kids came over, even though all of us, the adults and all our kids, were excellent swimmers by the time they could walk. My mom actually taught Dayton how to swim. My mom and dad taught the twins how to swim because it was just something that's important to them so they don't drown. Okay. I had to give you the background so you understand how most people with pools raise their grandkids or raise their kids, in my opinion, or the way it should be, especially in Florida. So what happens when you leave your kid with your mom and your kid accidentally drowns? Mom was sleeping. Mom fell asleep. What do? Do you forgive her? Do you think that you should forgive her? Do you think, nah, I'm never going to leave my kid with her again? Was it a freak accident? Was she sleeping and the door was locked and the baby accidentally got out? Maybe. Is it possible? It's possible. Maybe. I get it. Cops did all this investigation, ruled it as a accident. It was an accident. Accidents happen, especially in Florida. Okay, fast forward a year later. Your same mother leaves your child in the back of a car, your 16-month-old little girl, in the back of a hot car in 90 fucking degree weather. 90 degree weather. She casually forgot the baby was there. What? So your mother kills 2 of 3 of your children. What do you do? Think about it. What do you do? I read the story and I was like, wow. Just wow. Twice. Fucking twice. Not once. Twice. This bitch killed not one child, but 2 grandkids. Hold on. That's the grandma. Now, a lot of people are saying possible it was, maybe she had Alzheimer's. Maybe was she tested? No. Could she have Alzheimer's? She could. But someone with late Alzheimer's, you would know. Someone with early Alzheimer's, she would remember very quickly. For example, I've told this story before. 2018, my dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Dayton was a baby, but Dayton was also a baby in 2018 or 2008. Yeah, it was 2008, not 2018. 2008. We went to New York City. Me, Brad, all the kids, my parents, my brother, his wife, we all went to New York City. I forgot why. But everyone wanted to, our family wanted to meet Dayton and stuff. We're walking around New York City. Me, Brad, I don't think my brother was there. It was me, Brad, my parents, and all the kids. My dad, who was diagnosed with early onset, But he still, you know, knew who he was. He was pushing Dayton's stroller. We go cross the street somewhere in New York City. We turn around. My dad and the baby are gone. Me and Brad are panicking. My mom's panicking. Oh my God, where's Grandpa? Where's Dayton? Where's Grandpa? We thought he was going to forget that he was holding Dayton and my son was going to be lost in New York City. We're calling my brother. My brother was a cop at the time. You know, Bobby, call your patrol people. Like everyone's panicking. My mom's like, Laura, relax. Your dad is not stupid. Just relax. My dad's phone was in my mom's pocketbook. So all of a sudden, my mom gets an unknown number on her phone. She answers it. It's my dad. My dad is in a restaurant with Dayton, but somehow he lost, like he didn't realize where he was when we were crossing the street and he lost it. But the one thing that he did not lose was Dayton. He knew that was his grandson. He knew that even if he never found us again, he wasn't leaving his grandson. And like I said, this was in the beginning of his Alzheimer's. So that's why I'm saying I have a really hard time believing that this grandmother just accidentally forgot that her granddaughter was in the back seat. I'm sorry. That was after, I think my dad was diagnosed in 05 or no, it had to be 06 or 07. It was at the beginning. I mean, later on, you would never leave a kid with him alone. So I don't believe she had Alzheimer's at all. I really don't. But, so this was Ezra. This was the baby that died this was the baby that died in the pool. She's 65 years old, which my dad was diagnosed with early onset at 63 or 64. He died at 69. So, and then this is Uriel, who was left in the hot car. Here's a picture of Mom and Uriel. Oh. Here's a picture of... Oh. There's a picture of the parents. That is... that's Dad Drew and Mom. That's her mother. Now, it's interesting, though. They do have a third child. That third child, I think his name is Asher. That's Dad, and that's Uriel, the one that was left in the hot car. After Ezra died, the mom said, you know, we're not leaving the baby with you at all. We're not leaving Asher with you at all because, you know, for their own protection, for their own safety. Well, sure enough, for some reason, Mom had a lapse in judgment and left the daughter, and boom, her daughter's dead. So she went from being a mom of 3 sons and 1 daughter to now she only has 1 son left. Wow. Just wow. And it's just a really sad story. I don't know how she raised her own. I know, to be honest with you, I never even thought about it. But, I mean, I hate to say it, but she doesn't exactly look like a serial killer. I know you can't judge a look by its cover. You know, you can't judge someone by the way they look, but she really doesn't look like a serial killer. And in my opinion, she murdered both those kids. You don't accidentally leave a pool open with young kids there. You just don't. I mean, I've always said, you know, I had great family, but still, you put up a mark just so you can sleep better. You put up a gate. Is it expensive? Yeah, but it's something you got to do. I mean, anytime my parents have friends that come over and their grandkids come over, that gate is up. They've always kept that gate up. They're just paranoid that somehow someone's grandkid might get in the pool. And their pool's not even that deep. It's like 5.5 feet, I think, or 6 feet is the deepest. And they still put that gate up. It's worth the extra state of, the extra state of mind. And it's sad. It's really sad. Oh, it wasn't a pool? It was a pond. Oh, I thought they said it was a pool. Are you sure it was a pond? You might be right. No, Ezra died from drowning on Nix's property in Wauchula, Florida, while the grandmother slept. Yeah, but it said it was on her property. Oh, yeah, you're right. See, Daily Mail is saying that wandered into a pond. NBC, I could have sworn, said it was a pool. Oh, no, it's just accidental drowning. An autopsy showed no signs of injuries. Her death was ruled a homicide. You have to have a fence. See, my parents, I don't think they had to because they're in a 55 and over community, but they did it for the grandkids. I mean, that's what you do for your grandkids, right? You want to make sure they're safe. She was arrested and charged in November with aggravated manslaughter and leaving a child unsupervised in a motor vehicle. Court records showed. Charges are also in connection with November 1st, 2022, death of a 7-month-old Uriel Shock. Nix left Uriel in her vehicle outside her Wauchula home for several hours after returning from lunch. Nix said she forgot the child was in the car. I agree. How the fuck do you forget a little girl? Nix told authorities that her daughter Kaila asked her to watch Uriel while she was at a hair appointment. Documents state Nix said she went to a friend's house that morning and then left to pick up Uriel. She then drove to a restaurant for lunch with her friends, according to the document. They left the restaurant around 1:40. Security footage showed Nix put her granddaughter in a rear car seat and drove away. Nix said she drove about 10 minutes to her house, parked the car, and went inside, talked to her dog, and practiced the piano. She told the Hardy County Sheriff's, not like I was rushing in the house to do anything. I just forgot. Court filing said that Nix was waiting for older grandson to arrive so they could go out to dinner. After 4:30, she took 2 cups of tea to her vehicle for her and her grandson and then drove the vehicle to her backyard. Authorities said Nix's husband was in the backyard and the two talked for about 10 minutes. When the grandson arrived, Nix said all of a sudden it came across her head that Uriel was still in the car. Nix's husband immediately pulled the baby out and began CPR while someone called 911. Uriel was pronounced dead at the scene. Sheriff's office said the temperatures that day in Wauchula reached 90 degrees. reach 90 degrees. We have had this conversation before. I am sorry. I do not agree with people that fucking have a, say that they left their kid in the car. You can't just forget to leave a kid in the car. I'm sorry, but you don't. Kids cry. Kids make noise. Kids, even when they're sleeping, you look in a rear view mirror, you see your children. I will never, ever, ever agree with this excuse. Oh, well, I left her in the car. I forgot they were there. No, you didn't. You don't just forget a kid is in the back seat. I'm sorry. It doesn't fucking happen. To look at a rear view mirror, you see your kids. Now, I got pulled over yesterday and got a fucking ticket. Not happy about it. I'm fighting it. But the cop said he was behind me. Okay, my fault. I didn't look in my rearview mirror, I guess, enough, or I didn't realize it was a cop. Either or. But my point is, when you look in your rearview mirror, you're going to see a baby. And even if you don't catch it the first time, when you're pulling in somewhere, when you're pulling out somewhere, you see a baby. You can't tell me this baby was perfectly quiet. Even if they're sleeping, they make noise. That, at least mine did. So I am sorry. I will never buy the excuse of, oh, well, I forgot they were there. No, you didn't. You don't forget a kid is in your back seat. And what a horrific way to die. Being burned to death in 90 fucking degree weather. Like, this baby deserved that. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Nothing irks me more than the justice system that doesn't care about little babies. Everybody else, if you leave someone in your back seat and they're passed out and they die, you're automatically being charged of murder. Someone's drunk, you pick up someone at a bar and they're wasted, you will automatically go to jail for murder if someone dies in your back seat. How come that doesn't happen with babies? Why are kids just ignored? Totally fucking ignored. The justice system allows kids to, like, it doesn't even matter. Oh, well, we'll get a lighter sentence. Oh, we'll get off. No. Sorry. This should be first degree murder. This was intentional. The only way that this was not intentional is if she has later Alzheimer's and she really did forget. And if that's the case, then it's the mom's fault for allowing her to watch the baby, knowing she has later set Alzheimer's. That's the only excuse that I could think of. No, I don't think she's out of jail. Now, what's really sad, though, and this is really sad. Exactly. If she had that late Alzheimer's, then she shouldn't have been driving in the first place. So I totally agree with you, Tuesday. Totally agree. Devastated woman whose two young children died less than a year apart while in the care of the grandmother has called for her to be jailed. Kaila tearfully requested her mother, Tracey Nix, 65, be sent to prison over the deaths of Ezra, 16 months, and Uriel, who was 7 months. Ezra died from drowning on Nix property in Wauchula, Florida, while the grandma slept. Uriel died less than a year later in November 2022 after being left in a hot car while her grandmother was practicing piano inside. If I'm objective, she needs to go to prison. As her daughter, it kills me to say it. I'm sorry. If you murdered two of my children, I might murder you myself. I'm not going to feel bad about saying you deserve to be locked up away for the rest of your life so you don't hurt another child. Nix has been charged with manslaughter. No, it should be murder, and faces up to 30 years in prison for Uriel's death. Police had previously attempted to charge for Ezra's death, but the state attorney's office declined it. So the second child could have been alive. She could have been kept alive if the state, now I personally, I would also sue the state. I don't know if I'd win simply because I let her watch the kid again. But that would be, you would need a good fancy lawyer for that, but I would totally go after the state. Because the police found enough evidence to charge her in Ezra's death, and yet the state attorney said no. Make that make sense. Why would they say no? Why would they tell you that you can't charge her? If the police obviously had enough evidence that they wanted to charge her, speaks volumes to me. It really does. So, just whoa. Ezra died in December of 2021 on Nix's property after wandering into a pond and drowning while his grandmother slept just 3 days before Christmas. So you have one that died 3 days before Christmas, and then you have the other one that died a month before Christmas. While her husband, Nunne Nix, was out running errands, Nix fell asleep, and little Ezra managed to open the door and climb under the fence and head toward the pond. Why were there not locks put on the doors? The kid was 16 months old. Kids that young get outdoors, so you put locks on it. Kaila had an older son named Asher and was 6 months pregnant with Uriel at the time. Rushed to a parent's home, driving 85 miles an hour and getting in a head-on collision on her way as she watched a helicopter head toward their address. Wait, what was that? Kaila had an older son named Asher and was 6 months pregnant with Uriel at the time. She rushed to a parent's house, driving 85 miles an hour, and got into a head-on collision on her way as she watched a helicopter head toward their address. I didn't know that. I could see the helicopter landing. I didn't look when there was a stop sign. All of my airbags went off. I don't remember how I got out, but I got out and started running to my parents' house. And at this point, I don't have shoes. I'm just running. That was my desperation to get my son. Wow. I didn't realize that. So if you guys didn't catch that, she was 6 months pregnant. I guess she found out her son died, and she was driving 85 miles an hour. I'm going to play that next. Going 85 miles an hour and got into a head-on collision and survived no problem. She got out, ran to her mom's house. When she arrived at the home, Ezra was dead. Kaila was advised to forego being on the front lines of the investigation in order to protect the pregnancy of her soon-to-be daughter. They withheld information from me per my request, per my doctor's advice, that any information that would work me up, make me emotionally distressful, would be harmful to my unborn. I don't know, telling you your child's dead would probably be harmful. Police had attempted to file charges against Nick at the time, but the Florida attorney stated that a one-time lapse in judgment would not establish culpable negligence of the caretaker. Good to know. So you can kill a kid once, because that law doesn't go to drunk driving. If a child in Florida, when I say a child, I'm talking a 18-year-old child in Florida, makes a mistake, leaves a party, and gets behind the wheel of a car, and kills someone, guess what? They're going to jail for vehicular manslaughter. So that law only applies when it comes to babies, which goes back to what I said, that the justice system doesn't give a flying fuck about children. And if you did the same thing with an adult, you wouldn't get away with it. But with a child, no problem. It's such a fucked up system, honestly. So Kaila and Drew had no idea about the attempted charge until after their daughter's death. The couple said they did not allow their firstborn son, Asher, to be alone with Nix after Ezra's passing because they didn't trust the grandmother at all. Months after losing Ezra, the grieving mother gave birth to her third child, Uriel. There wasn't a moment to get a grip of the death of my son before there was the life of my daughter. And how beautiful is that, she said. She came out so small. She was beautiful and radiant. In November of 2022, Kaila left Uriel in her mother's care while going to get her hair done. She knew her mother had lunch plans with friends, and she trusted them, as she rarely allowed her daughter to be unsupervised with Nix. Yuri was at a restaurant with other people, and I knew and trusted. They were in the friend group and were keeping her safe, and I had supervised many, many, many interactions at this point in my house. Uriel died after being left in Nix's car in a 90-degree heat. Nix said she just forgot her granddaughter, in her car after returning home from lunch with a friend. She was practicing the piano when all of a sudden remembered the toddler. She ran out and began CPR on the child, but was unsuccessful. Drew told Fox 13, when I pulled up to the house, I'm coming to pick up my little girl, and there were ambulances there, and I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? I was having flashbacks, because when I pulled up with Ezra there, it was the exact same scene. Police showed up at Kayla's door to share her heart-wrenching news, but the mother was confused. I said, I'm sorry, what? I know Ezra's dead. Why are you here? Like what? What is this? Kaila recalled. He said, no, Kaila, your baby is dead. You couldn't fathom it twice. You couldn't fathom it happening twice, Drew said. Somebody has to answer for that. I want justice for my son. I want justice because he didn't get that, and now I got to sit here and expose this. That way, I don't let what happened to my son happen with my daughter and just get off scot-free because I couldn't live with that as a parent. Nick's lawyer argued that the deaths were obviously an accident. The question was, is it culpable negligence? He told WSVN. Tracey loves her daughter and her son-in-law and all of her children and grandchildren. I got a couple of grandkids, and you feel the same way about your grandkids, so the parents are hurting, but the grandparents are hurting too, so there's no winners here. As for the jury, Fletcher wants them to look at the facts of the case and nothing else to determine if Nix was negligent or not, as he worries Nix won't receive a fair trial. Looking at what really happened as far as Uriel, the baby girl, Fletcher said, and deciding, is this culpable negligence? Everybody is just seeing this one narrative. She's responsible, and I'm here to say, as much as I ethically can, it's not true. As for Kaila and Drew, they want their late children to know that they are very sorry and that their lives were taken by someone we believed was worthy of that. It's fucking crazy. And by the way, I don't have a lisp. I have a retainer in. I know a lot of people ask me, did you get a lisp? It's my retainer. I haven't worn it in like 2 days. Now, hold on. I had some video. All right, first, so here are the sheriff's reports. For this lawyer, would you leave your children with this lady? Good point. Thought it'd be a more liberal state. No, not at all. Retainer. Some creators, we can't even get to put on a bra in their teeth. Good point. Yeah, it's just my retainer. I wouldn't have given her my kid either. Hell to the no on that. So December 22nd, 2021, I responded to the incident location, a dwelling property, in reference to a child drowning. EMS was on scene tending to the victim on my arrival. The homeowners, Nini Nix. Who names our kid Nini Nix? Just saying. Was outside and he told me his wife, Tracey Nix, was inside changing clothes. I determined the following series of events based on statements made to me by the Nix and their neighbor. The victim was being supervised by his grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Nix, at their home. No one else was at the home. There is a large pond that is stocked with ducks located on the west side of the property within feet of their home. Mr. Nix was rocking the victim in a recliner in the living room. His wife was on an adjacent sofa. Mr. Nix stated he left the victim sleeping in the recliner and left his wife, who he said was awake, and go to Walmart and run some errands. Mrs. Nix corroborated this, but told me that she drifted off to sleep and was not awake when her husband left. Okay, so let me stop right there. I am a single mom. All right, there are many, many times that I wanted to just go to sleep, but you can't. Even babysitting, if I had somebody else's kids, there's just no way you fall asleep, no matter how tired you are, no matter how, you just don't do it, like forget sleep. You're raising kids or you're watching, grandkids. You just don't do that. So, at some point, Miss Nix awoke and couldn't find the victim. She told me the garage entrance was entrance door was ajar. She searched outside for the victim and drove her vehicle to the end of the driveway and looked down. At some point, she called her husband and informed that she couldn't find the victim. She said as she turned around to drive back to the residence, she saw the victim face down in the pond. She drove over to him and pulled him out of the water, started CPR that she had been trained on from working for the school system. She did not call 911. Why would you not call 911? Just saying. A neighbor heard her screaming and told me he saw Mrs. Nix giving CPR to the victim on the ground. He said her vehicle was parked along the fence in the front yard, consistent with her statements. He never saw the victim in the water, nor did he see Mrs. Nix pull the victim from the water. Let me repeat that. He never saw the victim in the water, nor did he see Mrs. Nix pull the victim from the water. Things that make you go, He stated when he returned to the yard, Mr. Nix had arrived and joined Mrs. Nix in performing CPR. Mr. Nix consented to me to enter his home. He showed me the living room layout and described where everyone had been seated. He confirmed that he used the garage door to leave the home. I advised him that his wife stated she found the door ajar and they shook his head and he closed the door. I asked Mr. Nix how much time had elapsed when he left for Walmart. When he received a call from his wife, he said it could have been up to an hour. I measured the distance from the floor to the door handle is 35 inches. The handle was a pull handle, not a knob-style fixture, which easily could have been opened by the victim if they reached to pull it down. I asked Mr. Nix if they had any issues with the victim opening doors before, and he indicated interior doors. I was informed the victim was airlifted TGH with a faint pulse. Both parents were called by Mr. Nix and responded to the scene prior to the victim transported. I checked the CAD system and found no prior incidents involving child abuse or neglect. At this time, the incident appears to be a tragic accident involving non-criminal negligence. In order to establish the elements of child neglect, the defendant must expose the victim to personal injury through culpable negligence. All right, so here's the Florida statute. Each of us has a duty to act reasonably toward others. If there is a violation of that duty without any conscious intention to harm, that violation is negligence. But culpable negligence is more than a failure to use ordinary care for others. In order for negligence to be culpable, it must be gross and flagrant. Culpable negligence is a course of conduct showing reckless disregard for human life or for the safety of persons exposed to its dangerous effects, or such an entire want of care as to raise a presumption of a conscious indifference to consequences, or which shows wantonness or recklessness, or a grossly careless disregard for the safety and welfare of the public, or shows such an indifference to the rights of others as in equivalent to an intentional violation of such rights. I am sorry, but that is not putting stuff on your door, not locking your door, not putting locks that they could easily get out, knowing that all this baby would have to do is pull it down. Yes, that's culpable negligence. Sorry, not sorry. 2 kids in less than 12 months. But, you know, like the kid getting out, I agree. What happened? The kid probably did go by the ducks. I'm okay with that. I can see that being an accident. What is not an accident, what is absolutely not an accident, is you not putting locks on your door. That's not an accident. I'm sorry, but that's not an accident. Nope. You should put safety locks. You have grandkids there, then you put safety locks on your doors if it's that simple for them to get out. Plain and simple. Now, December 24th, I received the following email information. I spoke to Dr. So-and-so from Tampa, advised that the infant, above data responded. Upon arrival, I activated my emergency lights, parked my vehicle, blah, blah, blah. Female exit SUV. Stated she was involved in a traffic car crash, believed to be at intersection. The subject verbally said she left the traffic crash to come check on her child. I would too. I wouldn't care about the traffic at that point. The crash at that point. Upon arrival, I observed 2 wrecked vehicles. Deputies already were on scene providing aid. All right. I asked Blake if the doctor was able to measure the reach of the child. Blake stated that there was not a separate note but did take my name to call me back. In the above date, I spoke Tampa. All right. When asked about Eshok's maximum reach was 36 inches from the tip of his fingers to the foot. Nothing else further. Photograph met with Nix. Spoke with none. I'm just trying to get to the good stuff. All right. Nunn was rocking in the recliner. Nunn said he does this because Ezra being able to open doors now, and this helps to prevent Ezra from being able to do this. Nunn stated Ezra did not like water, that he hated getting a bath. Ezra was mobile and walked around the home freely. Nunn and Tracey would monitor him, of course. All right, so make that make sense. The kid hated water. Why would he walk towards a duck pond if he did not like water or he was scared of water? If he was that scared of water, he's not going to walk that close to a duck pond, right or wrong. They're going to stay far away from water. Am I right or wrong? Why are we talking about cable? I agree, Jesse. He wouldn't do that. I mean, I've seen people afraid of water that would like stay as far away from water as possible. And now all of a sudden they would monitor him, walk around the house. Well, why didn't you put safety locks on the fucking door? And then you wouldn't have to do that. We put safety locks on the door. We even put safety locks on the door for my dad. So he couldn't be one of these, Alzheimer's people running in the streets in his underwear. That's what my mom's biggest fear was. He was going to get out of the house and she was going to get a call from the gate that, Sam's walking around in his underwear. Nance stated it would take Ezra on the side by side to see the duck and the rest of the animals. Nunn said that Ezra was able to grab door handles and open doors. Nunn stated that he has seen Ezra grab the door handle of the double doors inside, and the deadbolt was the only thing that prevented him from getting the doors open. Well, duh. Why didn't you put a fucking lock on it? Now I know why the police wanted to charge him. Nunn stated that he left around for 2 hours. Nunn left, got gas. He got the call from Tracey and was complete checking out on his way home. When Nunn arrived home, Tracey was still in her pajamas, giving CPR to Ezra. You know what's sad, too? This kid could have probably been saved if she called 911 immediately. That's the sad part. We got a call. He was pumping gas in his undies. See? That's what I'm saying. That was my mom's biggest fear. But if he had a faint pulse when he went to the doctor, and when he went to the hospital, why wasn't Grandma wet? I don't know, Scorpio. It's a good point, though. That really is a good point. We'll find. Maybe she was. I don't know. Exactly. You have 3 different locks on your doors. She didn't call 911. That's what I'm saying. Where you going, Mama Bear? Take care, Laura. That sounds like a final goodbye. Trace stated she was taking this regimen for about 15 years. When she wakes up, she's refreshed and wide awake. She's not sure what made her fall asleep this morning. Come on. Trace stated that normally when Nunn leaves, he puts the metal door stopper up against the door because the cat. Trace stated that Ezra cannot open the door and therefore it was not needed for that. Yeah, I'm not buying this. Yeah, she's a former principal. Trace stated she woke up unsure how long she was asleep. Stated she began looking for Ezra inside. Search went outside. Like, this is your granddaughter. Why didn't you call 911 immediately? Like, the second you couldn't find her. She's a fucking 16. He was a 16-month-old child. If I can't find my little kid or my grandkid within 10 seconds, I'm calling the police. Especially my grandkid. Bad enough if it's your own kid, but your grandkid? Oh, hell yeah. I'm calling my grandkid instantly. After this is when Nunn arrived. He took over CPR when Tracey changed her clothes. She went and changed her clothes. Didn't call 911. Just changed her clothes. Detective Ward measured the door that Ezra came out of. The handle measured 35. According to medical examiner, she would have a 36-inch reach. Door handle in question was a lever style. I think a lot of ones in Florida, lever style. It totally sounds so sus. I'm telling you, it does. I called Tracey via phone. I need the name of medication. She told me that she has 1 bottle of so-and-so. Tracey said that she most likely went to bed 21:30, woke up 9:30. Complaint affidavit, child neglect will be filed. Thank you. Then Tracey Nix, commit the following offense of child neglect. All right, that just shows the law. Tracey was the primary caregiver at the time of the incident. Tracey fell asleep while watching Ezra. This could have been from the blank or the side effect of blank. The number 1 symptom of blank, the side effects of all 3 of the above medications. Okay. First of all, I don't, people use side effects when they want to, because if you look at every single side effect of tons of prescriptions, I mean, you'd be dead if you took any. Every single one of them, you'd be dead. So I'm not buying this whole, the side effect. Nobody ever has the side effects that they say. Or if they do for like a minute. Yeah, but it doesn't tell us what her medication was for. It just says that that the number one symptom of whatever medication she was on. But seriously, I mean, you can see like all these side effects of a drug. Just watch a commercial for it. There's like a million of them. You can have cancer, you can get this, you can get that, you can get this. Like, it's like, why take any drugs then? Because you're going to die. Every single drug will make you dead. I mean, right now I'm on name brand Adderall. It's supposed to make you not hungry. I'm fucking more hungry on this than I was on the generics. So yeah, I've gained more weight being on name brand than I had. And it says, oh, you're not going to eat. You don't sleep. You this, that. No, none of that. I mean, sleeping, yeah. But the rest of it, yeah, not true. Tracey Nunn did not have any safety door handles in place for the prevention of Ezra being able to open the door. The door leading to the garage from the house was most doors. Inside has a large swooping lever handle. Above the door that Ezra used was a deadbolt and was not in use this day. Why? Why? I knew a lady who took prescription drugs. She thought she was a farmer. I know, it's crazy, right, Crystal? Fucking crazy. And I did get notification for a Cash App, so I want to thank you for that. Don't forget, guys, you can always donate to the Heat Press Fund. That is Super Chats, subscriptions over on Kick, or you could just Cash App me because you love me. Either way. Tracey Nunn did not have safety door handles. The door handle is about 34 inches. Ezra reach, according to medical examiner, is 36. It is reasonable based on the aforementioned information that Tracey Nix did commit the act of child neglect. So why was it ruled an accident? Why was it ruled an accident? Dumb bitch. It was obviously an accident. No, it wasn't. It was intentional murder. Sorry, not sorry. Definitely not, Jasmine. Sorry to disappoint, but definitely not. All right. So now you've heard me babble on. Yeah, I don't believe it was an accident either. Hell no. Hey, Jen. No way. All right.
Wauchula, Florida, a small town along Main Street in Hardee County. Population less than 5,000. Kaila Nix and Drew Schock grew up here and reconnected 5 years ago after what began as a high school friendship. They soon decided to have kids and raise their children where they had roots.
This was the plan. We were going to have 3 kids, and that, you know what I mean? That was our goal.
My mom was a principal.
Kayla's mom, Tracey Nix, now at the center of their family's story.
Here we are.
A story they're here to share.
It's really difficult to know that my mom is the one, that broke his heart here. My mom.
According to the complaint affidavit, on November 1st, 2022, Kaila was going to get her hair done and asked her mom to babysit. Tracey met friends for lunch, drove home, and forgot her granddaughter in the back seat of her 2019 Lexus, with the windows rolled up. She went inside, talked to her dog, and practiced the piano. When one of her grandsons arrived, all of a sudden it came across her head that Uriel was in the back seat all afternoon. Her husband immediately began CPR. Temperatures in Wauchula that day reached 90 degrees. Uriel died. She was 7 months old.
To think of the last moments of her life as a mother is gut-wrenching.
A little girl. How do you forget a little girl?
After identifying his daughter at the hospital, Drew remembers,
We're out in the parking lot just trying to grasp out what just happened, and that it actually just happened twice in our lifetime.
twice in less than a year. 16-month-old Ezra, Uriel's brother, also died while under his grandmother Tracey's care.
911, where is your emergency?
That's a little baby. The grandmother's out giving him CP. Is he breathing? No.
Okay, it was a pond,
Yeah.
and they're not sure how long the child was in the pond?
No.
Drew got the first call 3 days before Christmas 2021.
He goes, something happened to Ezra, and that's when I just
Okay, let me just say, first observation, these two were on drugs. I don't care what anyone says. These two are acting like they're high on pills. I mean, they just seem fucking weird. Am I wrong? Do you guys see that? They just seem weird. Grandma's 65. Right? Joy, I agree. I'd probably be on something too, but I don't know. The way she's like all over him, it's just weird.
just called Kaila, and she goes, "What?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm heading there now."
I could see the helicopter landing, and I didn't look when there was a stop sign. I was in a full head-on collision, and I was going 85 miles an hour in that case, 6 months pregnant. But I got out and started running to my parents' house, and at this point I don't have shoes. I'm just running. That was my desperation to get to my son.
Kaila says her doctor told her she needed to make a choice.
They withheld information from me. Any information that would work me up or make me emotionally distressful would be harmful to my unborn child. And I knew in that.
Now, let me just say I'm not saying they are, but they look like they're on meth. That's what meth heads do. That's exactly how meth heads talk. No joke. I'm telling you, I'm not saying they are. I'm not accusing them. I'd probably be smoking meth too if my mother killed 2 of my kids. So I'm not judging. I'm just saying they act like meth heads.
Moment that as much as I loved him, that she was a real life and she was coming, and it would be wrong of me to lose it over him and hurt her and take her.
Kaila and Drew had never seen the incident report detailing how Ezra drowned in a nearby pond the afternoon his grandmother fell asleep. In the report, the detective wrote, "A complaint affidavit for child neglect will be forwarded to the state attorney's office for further review."
I didn't know that they had ever attempted to file charges.
Kaila says she will never forget what a deputy told her.
I was told that unless I believed that my mom held my son's head under the water and intentionally killed him, that there is nothing else that they can do about my son's death.
In a statement, the state attorney's office said, in cases involving the accidental drowning of a toddler, Florida appellate courts have stated that a one-time lapse of judgment would not establish culpable negligence of the caretaker.
His story has gotten lost in hers.
After the death of
Ezra.
your son, did you trust your mom?
No.
No, we didn't trust her at all. Like I said, that's why we never let Asher go over there.
Asher, their now 4-year-old firstborn.
We were anxious, but I loved my mother, and I am a daughter that wanted her mom. I thought that if
All honestly, how the hell do you explain to a 4-year-old that grandma killed your brother and sister? Think about that for a second. The thought that this kid has to live with that his brother and sister were both murdered by grandma. It gives me chills. It really does. I have chills. This poor child. I mean, horrible for the parents, but this poor child.
If I could believe in second chances. And so when I was told that Ezra's death was an accident, some sliver child part of me thought, okay, good, I get to keep this mom, this grandmother, this person.
3 months after Ezra's death, Kaila gave birth to their baby girl.
There wasn't a moment to get a grip of the death of my son before there was the life of my daughter. And how beautiful is that? Her name is Uriel, and it means, it's a Hebrew name, and it means God is my light. He's so cute.
Kaila and Drew were protective.
The very, very minor amount of time that she saw my daughter was almost always supervised.
On her daughter's last day, Kaila says she knew her mom's plans.
Yuri was at a restaurant with other people that I knew and trusted.
Within hours, someone from the sheriff's office showed up at her home
And said that your baby is dead. And I said, I'm sorry, what? I know Ezra dead. Why are you here? Why are you, like, what is this? No, Kaila, your baby is dead.
2 children now who are no longer here. You know what I mean? Somebody has to answer for that.
But Tracey's attorney, William Fletcher, says it depends.
But because somebody dies doesn't necessarily mean that somebody has to pay.
Okay, somebody should pay for that horrible toupee that you're wearing. Whoever made you think that looked good needs to pay. They should go to jail for the fashion police, and they lied. Because that toupee is heinous. Just saying.
And this obviously was an accident, and the question was, is it culpable negligence?
Fletcher told us Tracey Nix will not be making any public statements.
Tracey loves her daughter and her son-in-law and all of her children and her grandchildren.
What is she feeling?
Totally devastated, totally devastated.
Why did you choose to take on this case?
It was so incredible.
I mean, come on, look at that hair. That is horrible. It's like, dude, we get old. It's just what we do. We get old. There's no reason to wear such a fucking horrendous toupee like that. That is awful. It doesn't make you look younger. I promise you, you'd probably look better bald. That is, someone should go to jail for that. For real.
Incredible. I can't conceive of the pain. I got a couple grandkids, and you feel the same way about your grandkids. So it's not, you know, the parents are hurting, but so are the grandparents are hurting too. So there's no winners here. Certainly no winners. Everybody. I mean, it's just.
Okay, if I kill Red Dragon will be the first one to pop up. If I kill Red Dragon, am I going to be hurting? Of course. Should I still go to jail? Of course I should go to jail. The fuck? These people are crazy. I understand he's a defense attorney, but come on now.
Total devastation. They're very fine people, and decided I'd take it. I know you've heard sometimes people have been struck by lightning 2 different times, and that's the way I look at this case.
We sat down and spoke with Kaila and Drew, the parents, and they say that they want justice in this case. What do you think justice looks like here?
Looking at the facts, looking at what really happened, as far as Uriel, the baby girl, which is what the charge what the jury should be focused on, and deciding is this culpable negligence.
Fletcher says if found guilty, Tracey could be sentenced to between 12 and 30 years in prison.
So then if I'm objective, she needs to go to prison. As her daughter, it kills me to say it. As their mother, I demand it.
I want justice for my son, so that way I don't let what happened to my son happen with my daughter and her just get scot-free, because I couldn't live with that as a parent.
We asked what they would want Ezra and Uriel to know.
That we loved them and that we're sorry. Because they were beautiful children. And they were taken by somebody that we believed was worthy of trust.
The pretrial hearing is scheduled for March 28th in Hardy County with photojournalist Randy Wright and my team investigator Kaila Nix taking action for you.
So they said it was March 28th. I didn't hear about the story until 2 hours ago. Does anyone know what happened at the pretrial? It is heartbreaking. Do we know what happened at the pretrial hearing? I agree, Scorpio. I totally agree. I think probably she was just charged, right? For... Oh. All right. Florida grandmother charged in hot car death. Oh, I guess maybe she wasn't initially arrested and then she was arrested on the 28th. I think. Maybe. She was arrested, yeah, 1 day ago. So I guess the 28th. She was arrested and charged. Oh, pretrial hearing is set for May 2nd. So they changed it. But I think she's in jail. Yeah, where is this? All right. The pretrial hearing was delayed until May 2nd. Hardy County. I don't know where Hardy County is. Is it near FSU? Yeah, it's the same article. New York Post has the same thing as Daily Mail, pretty much. Nick's lawyer said Uriel's death was an accident and left the grandma devastated. Okay, so this woman kills 2 people. Even if it's an accident, 2 people are dead. The 65-year-old could face between 12 and 30 years if found guilty of aggravated manslaughter. You killed 2 children. You should rot in jail for the rest of your damn life. No questions asked. You took no precaution to put on locks, even after another kid got out. No, I'm sorry. I said that wrong. A kid got out, died in a pool in a drowning. You would think that you would be on high alert and you wouldn't just forget that your kid is in the car. I don't know about you guys, but I look in my car before I get out. Like, did I forget anything? Do I have to bring anything in? Like, I always check. Maybe it's, a habit, you know, you have little kids in the car, and now now that they're older, I'd still check, see if anything's left. I don't know. Or somebody got in my car. You hear about these stories like kids or animals get in cars and they, fall asleep or they hide out. You never know. But yeah, no, I would think that if a child was killed in my presence, you bet your ass I'm going to make sure I'm on high alert anytime I'm around a child, It's just, the whole thing is just so odd. Wauchula, Florida. Oh, hold on. I know, what was it? Wauchula. Oh, it's pretty far from Phoenix's school. Oh, she's down by Wauchula's by Sarasota area. Huh. I don't know where the 4-year-old, maybe she took him. No, I don't think the mom is involved, but I think the mom, I don't know. I think the mom should be charged. Something. First time is an accident, not second time. I agree. And you would think that you would be way more on alert if something like that happens. You're like way more aware of stuff. If I knew I had one baby die in my car, that's Scorpio, exactly what I'm saying. You would be on total high alert. That's insane. I thought you were working a double.
I did.
Oh. I'm like,
I made almost $500 tonight.
no shit.
Like 487 to be more exact.
I'm gonna jack you.
No.
I'm steal your money.
No. It doesn't even feel like I worked a double. Like I feel good. It's been a good day.
Are you done with Marcos?
I'm probably gonna give Andrew my 2 weeks tomorrow. Eamon said I could do it over the phone or like text him, but like even if I don't show up for the next 2 weeks, like I haven't been there for like a month, I'm just gonna give it to him in person. Marcos doesn't benefit me anymore, and I feel like it's so toxic there. I would rather not even have that baggage on my back and just let it go.
Should you make $500 a day? I'm coming to work for you. I'm gonna get hired.
And honestly, Justin
18 years old, pulling in $500 a day.
Justin and I were talking, and that's only because I worked a double. But Justin
And no, she's not hooking. She's waitressing.
Justin and I were talking, and honestly, things are looking good. Like I could be a captain soon. They normally don't put captains in like if they're in high school, but I work so much. Like the only difference between Justin and I is he works 1 or 2 doubles a week. So he has to work like 40 hours. But I'm the only people that like me and Justin basically work the same hours, and I'm always the last one to leave to make sure everything's done. And they really like me and they respect me and stuff, and like they listen to me, so things are looking good. And then if I become a captain, I'll make $4 an hour. So
just bank as much as you can.
Well, that's before tip out. They still take 4% from me.
Yeah, 500 and close on. You're winning. She's winning.
I had good tables. People were nice.
What?
People were nice. I had good people.
Good.
I've been lucky. Like yesterday we weren't even really that busy today. We were busy, but not really. Yesterday we weren't busy at all, and I was just super lucky. And then today I was super lucky. Like one table gave me like $85 today, because it was like 11 top, and it was like it was like 65 for gratuity, and they gave me an extra 20. So
Cool.
yeah.
Love you. Yeah, just working at this restaurant that's, in my opinion, way overpriced. But the cheapest meal is like $40, $45 is the cheapest meal. So you get two people to go out, it's over $100 bill. So tips are automatic.
Hey, you ever want to come in and eat? I'll charge you for a kid.
How much is a kid?
$16.99. I did that to like 3 people today. One girl, she was like, I had surgery, I got a gastric bypass or gastric sleeve or whatever she said. I was like, oh my god, my mom got the same thing. And I was like she was like, I don't eat, and I was like, it's okay. Like you're my example. I was like, now that is my mom, I'm like, and then I was like, but I can't. She's like, can you charge me for a kid? And I was like, I can. And then I did that to like 3 other people today because they've all had like surgeries and like stomachs couldn't have, they don't eat a lot. So I just charged them for kids. So I was like, I can just do it for you.
Did they look like they had surgery?
I don't know. They're older.
Because you don't want people using that as an excuse.
Well, someone asked about you too. She was like, I was like, my mom got the same thing, and she was like, I was like, how is she doing with it? I was like, it's been a year and a half, and I was telling her about it. I was like, it's going really well, and blah blah blah.
So I haven't lost in like a year.
Well, I was like, she's still, hitting her goals, but like, she's doing good. We talked about you. So.
All right.
$25.
I'm gonna make $500 a day. Jeez. Make her buy me a heat press. Personality, keeping coffee cup full makes my... No, shoot. It's like just a really expensive place. I agree, Bonnie. The entire family seems off. They do. Something just isn't right. It just... I don't know. I don't know what the parents were like prior. Thank you, Lori. I don't know what the parents were like prior. Like, I don't see any interviews of them before this because, I don't know, maybe they are on drugs. I might be. But they just seem like meth heads. I don't know. I can't explain it. The way she's, like, all over him and he's up front. I don't know. Their body language is just weird. They just seem weird. Beauty and charm helps with tips. That is true. But just why people work at these expensive restaurants and they never leave. You get a waitressing job at an expensive restaurant, you make $500-$600 a day. Easily. You know, like expensive steakhouses. But even now, anywhere you go, it's like an easy $20 tip. Because everything is so damn expensive. She did work at school and she should know better. I agree. I don't know. This whole... I'm going to follow the story. It just seems off. Something is off. I mean, I can see on one hand why the daughter would trust the mom. It's her mom. She was a teacher. Why wouldn't? She raised her. So I get it. But still. Someone left a comment. So when mine was 15 months old, she and my husband, her dad, were waiting outside for me. He got distracted somehow and she tripped on the steps and cut her nose. I was furious and that was the last time I left them alone. Since when do husbands babysit their children? Aren't they supposed to parent their children? Amen to that. So maybe the 2 deaths were unintentional and not deliberately negligent, but all the facts here tell us that there is a major part of the story that has not been thoroughly investigated. Those 2 deaths are accidents that happened because of grandma's advancing neurological disorder. We don't know that. It would be a grave miscarriage of justice to make the grandma a convenient scapegoat to send her to prison when all the adults in this wretched family bear the responsibility for the deaths. I don't know. It's kind of got a point too, though. I mean, it's a pretty harsh thing because we don't know if the grandmother has anything wrong. But like I said, if she does, then the mother's negligent. Just bring the damn baby. I've brought kids to hair appointments before. I had my nails done. I'm picking away. More grandparents are literally raising their grandchildren. Dementia's not always... Yeah, but we don't know if the grandmother has anything wrong with her. There can never be a second chance after a child's death. The mother is as much to blame as the grandmother. I once picked up my daughter from my ex-mother-in-law's with a very preventable injury that required medical treatment. That was the last time she watched her. I don't know. Accidents happen, though. She was the prince. If they find more health issues, she'll never spend 1 minute in jail. She is in jail. But 2 kids are still dead. Either way you slice it, 2 kids are dead. You know what I mean? Someone has to pay for these 2 kids. Exactly. That's why I don't believe it's dementia. I really don't. Because if it was that obvious, they would know. Not twice, exactly. Like, the first time, you are completely negligent by not doing anything. By not putting locks on the door. Knowing that she could get out. That's negligent. I mean, they look like they had money. They look like well-to-do. Teachers, nurses, and carers have a higher risk of Alzheimer's. Isn't Alzheimer's genetic? I don't know. My dad got it. My aunt never did. My dad had early onset. My aunt never did. So we don't know. I knew when my mom... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And even if there's little signs, I don't know. Could it be tragic accidents? Yes. Would I still want justice for my children? I don't know. I could... All right, let me rephrase that. The first one, the first incident, I could rule out as a tragic accident. I can't rule out leaving a kid in a hot car. Sorry, not sorry. That's not an accident. They're just not. Ooh, Buka fighting back. Buka's like, I'm sick and tired of you bullying me, Winston. Get him, Buka. Ooh. Buka mad. Buka never gets mad. Now he's mad. Get away from me. Now Winston's hiding. Whoop. Yeah, exactly. Buka said, not today, Satan. Not today. I should not have a mind at all. From 14, I was a caregiver. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, though? It just... I don't know. I can rule the first one as an accident. I can't rule leaving a kid in a hot car. Because like I said, with my dad, when it was his Alzheimer's was at the beginning, my dad knew that he had my son. He knew he had his grandson. Didn't know where we were. Got confused about New York City and how he lost us. We don't know. But he had enough sense to know, I can't let go of this child. No matter what happens, I can't let go of this child. Like, he had enough sense to know that. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, no. I'm not buying it. You just don't leave a kid in the car. You check your car. You automatically look in your car. No. I can't imagine getting out of your car and not looking at it. You have to get from the driver's side to the passenger side. So you don't look in it. No, I just can't buy that. I don't think that was an accident. The first one, okay, I give you that. Not the second one. Nope, sorry. Not an accident. The husband didn't realize the baby was not with him when she came out. I don't know. I can't believe, though, that she was in a head-on collision and so at 85 miles an hour and survived. That's crazy. That's like, whoa. How'd you survive that? It doesn't say where the 4-year-old was. There was one more thing I found I want to show you guys before I get off. I thought it was the funniest thing. Where was it? It's something to do with porn, and it was funny as hell. Now I can't find it. I don't remember what it was, but it was a headline. I was like, oh my God, that is so fucking funny. Now I can't, it was on it was like on the side of Daily Mail. Husband and wife tragically die as their hot air balloon burst into flames in Mexico while their teen daughter miraculously survived. That wasn't what I wanted to show you, though. Oh, shit. Benny Keys was arrested today for harassment. Damn. Benny Keys arrested. I hope Tiffany knows. Hold on, I'll show you guys the... Hang on. I was in Discord. Yeah, Benny Keys, hold on. Harassment sounds right, I agree. Why can't I make this bigger? Ha, motherfucker, that's what you get. That's what you get, Benny. Booked on 4/2/2023. Arresting date 4/1. Charges of harassment. That's it. That's all I got. Charges of harassment. He is so nasty. I agree. He deserves this. Totally agree with that. You want to run your mouth, motherfucker? There you go. Whoever's in Tiffany's Discord, show her. Whoever's in Molly's Discord, show her. Motherfucker. Benny Keys arrested. That's what you get. I wonder who he was harassing, though. I wonder if it had to do with Tiffany. He did Tiffany really bad. But that was another thing. I heard him. I listened to that shit that he said on whatchamacallit? On AB. He was lying. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak on any of it except when he casually said, oh, you have to pay like $600 or something for an insurance. What the fuck are you talking about? I have 3 kids. Never even heard of that. I wonder if this is from Tiffany. That would be awesome. Sly Angel, I already told her that. And then she said to me, why you always gotta be right? Why you always gotta do that? Throw it in my face. I was like, shut up. But yeah, Benny Keys arrested. Serves you right, motherfucker. Serves you right. He's so gross. Save Terrell outside of Dallas. Correct. Oh, no, that's him. Hey, Whistle Down. Good for him. He's right where he belongs. Hey, Lisa. Maybe his wife? Hopefully Tiffany did it. Let's see if I can find any more info. He was arrested yesterday and booked today. I don't know. I can't find it. Attorney General versus Benjamin Dwayne Lindsay, April 23rd. That was last year. He's out if it was harassment, unless it was multiple count. Yeah, it just said 1 count. Marissa said Tiffany is a good mom and has a good son. For Benny to do this and know her son will find out is horrible. I agree. People in Discord, is there any more on it? Hey, Coffee. Yeah, I don't see anything else. I don't know how people find this stuff. Like, what made them even look it up? got his address if anyone wants it. It's public. He's married and had a girlfriend. I don't know. I can't stand Benny. I never liked him. Dude, that's crazy. Good old Benny. Should have been locked up for spitting loogies on mama's floor. Just say, yeah, he's so gross. He's just a lowlife. Bye, Kumi. I'm actually getting off in a minute. I don't know if it's no bail. I can't find the arrest. Arrested yesterday. Come on. Is it Terrell PD? Is that what it said? Yeah. Terrell inmate list. All right. Nope, don't want to send him any money. Phone calls. What the fuck's the inmate list? Where's the inmate list? Inmate. Where the hell did you go for that? Oh, it's different county. A different jail, I mean. You know you're in Texas when a sheriff is wearing a hat, a cowboy hat. Inmate info. Jail bookings. Why do they all wear white cover-up? Never seen that before. Isn't marijuana legal in Texas? There's some shady looking characters. Abandon, endangerment, child criminal negligence. Help you rat. Damn, theft over 20 grand. $105,000 bail. Sex abuse and child? This guy should be hung. This guy looks mean. $6,500 for a marijuana charge. Come on now, really? Possession of a controlled substance. She looks too old. All right. There he is. No bond. Harassment, one charge. That's it. Doesn't give you any more info. He hasn't been released, though. It doesn't show release. But he has no bond. But it's 100% legit. Yeah, there is no bond. He has not been released, though. Because he would have a release date. He was arrested yesterday and booked today. Yeah, but he was officially booked. See, it doesn't say, like, is he charged, you know, first degree, second degree, third degree? It doesn't say. Yeah, that's true. Probably booked till tomorrow. Hey, Kit. Case down that the mother would even think to let the mother babysit. I agree. He has to wait for court in the morning. I wish it said, like, harassment, first degree, second degree, something. But it's legit. You're right where you belong, motherfucker. BK got no bail. He's in jail currently, yeah. This is it. I just pulled it up. Collin County, McKinney. He looks like his ears are different. Looks like one's flat and one sticks out. He's probably harassing his drug dealer. Hey, Tony. It's Sunday night at 10:20. Nobody's going to tell me anything. I'll call tomorrow. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I agree, Kit. 150%. Let's bookmark this. Don't let me forget tomorrow. I'll probably forget. Can if he is in, would maybe tell you one ear is east side and one, I'm telling you. He's just nasty. He's just a lowlife. I always said that. He's just a lowlife. Loser. All right, I'm going to get off, though. I'm going to get off. I got candles to do and some to wrap. I will see you all tomorrow. Benny Keys, he is a wannabe YouTuber, I guess you could say. He is, he's been harassing Tiffany and lying about Tiffany and just putting shit out there that shouldn't be out there, that no real man would ever do. I don't want to draw attention to it. For those that don't know, just like I don't want to draw attention to Mallory and the shit she said about Marissa, I don't want to draw attention to it. So I'll leave it at that. I was going to mention the stuff Mallory said and decided, you know what? Don't want to. Don't even want to hear her voice. Yeah, he's definitely not a rapper. He's a loser. He lives with his mom. He's just a piece of shit. His rap is horrible. Horrible. But he's just, you just don't do that to somebody. You don't, if you have an online relationship with someone, even if it's just, you know, for the moment, you don't fucking blab about it. Mallory. Starflower was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. She's just nasty. But that's what you get from a bunch of fucking lowlifes. And Red Dragon, I hope it does. I really hope it does. I hope she did this. That would be fucking awesome. Even if she didn't do it, I'm going to tell people it was all because of Tiffany, and Tiffany got him arrested. That's why you don't fuck around people on the internet. I hope she did. Then maybe people learn shut the fuck up. I don't believe she's completed the of Mallory. No, but you don't want to say that, Starflower. Then you get accused of gay bashing or trans bashing, which I'm so tired of hearing that term. I agree, D. I don't think so either. I really don't. He is disgusting. He's fucking gross. Totally gross. So, all right. I'm going to get off, though. I got stuff to do. I will probably be on... I might be on... Not definitely, but I might be on Kick later. Finish it, playing more of my game. I'm stuck at a spot. I can't get past it. So, Starflower, I agree with you. But you don't want to... It's just going to start nonsense. That's not worth it. So, I will see you all later. Don't forget, order your candles, energycandles.com. And I will see you all later. Peace. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be switching around Molly's candles and give her new scents. I don't know which ones yet, though. I got to send her some testers. So, all right. But I'm going to leave this up so you don't have to worry, like, you know, I'm going to leave this up. So, I know, right, Coffee? But yeah, it's a pretty intense case. I'm definitely going to follow this case. It's wow. Just wow. So, all right. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful night and peace out.